So I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about how Trellis is meeting the moment. You heard that some of us have been in the moment longer than others. Joel has been doing this quite literally longer than these two rows have been alive. And what you might not know, though, is a media executive, Pete May, approached him 18 years ago to say, hey, you know what, we actually can make money in this space. You should take this nonprofit and turn it into a for-profit and model why this makes sense. And I'm incredibly grateful that 15 years ago, they brought me on board to be the CEO. And I spent my first part of my career in tech, and I really wanted to apply what I learned about disruption and innovation to the climate space. And to be totally honest, Joel, I also wanted to make money because I saw the same thing in 1990. Tech was totally horizontal across it was going to hit every company. Climate is the same thing. It's going to hit every company, and it's how we respond to it. So how does disruption work? It's really pretty simple, actually. It goes from the few to the many, and the brave few who are willing to leave the status quo and chart a new path. I'm going to bring this to life. So if you came to a green biz before it was in Phoenix, please stand up. Come on, you need a little extra. You need to, let's say, who is here, who came to Green Biz before? That's the few. That is the really, really the few. Who came to Green Biz? Yes, thank you. Well, no, stay standing, stay standing. This is going to build. If you came before COVID, please stand up. Okay, we're getting there. If you came before this year, please stand up. Okay, now the rest of you stand up. Okay, well, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much. You just saw how that works, so you can sit down now. So despite all the political bluster and the massive amounts of misinformation, we're going to confront the climate crisis. It's an inevitability. The question is, can we do it fast enough, and how do we do it faster? And one way is by applying what's called the network effect. The network effect creates more impact as more people engage. Network effect creates a positive feedback loop, and innovation snowballs, becomes an inevitable. And that's partly why it's so powerful that you're all here. So, as Joel really pointed out, we're at a moment before, I would say, unlike that I've been here, it's extreme. But I just want to remind you, progress is not linear. Nothing goes straight up. Just ask any Phillies fan. They finally got to win last night. Or anybody who lived through the dot-com crash. I met with 25 CSOs this past fall to talk about how Trellis is going to meet the moment. And time after time, we heard leaders who were worried about the headwinds. Reporting requirements would stifle innovation and distract from the core mission or why they got here. And it's our point of view that impact is still the mission. Innovation is still the identity, and yes, we have to prove the business case for sustainability. And we think about that with the flywheel effect. Everything we build is to empower you to peer around corners and to find solutions to scale and amplify your impact. The flywheel is like the network effect, but it's specific to the lines of business, and each one builds on the next, and we constantly innovate. And I want to talk about two of them today specifically. So John Davies, for many, many years, ran this network as one member, one company, and it was one group, and it was half cheap consulting and half group therapy. And now we've evolved that to basically say, what are the key areas that you need help in, and can we create a community for that? And so now we have all these communities. We have amazing analysts that are leaders in their space, and they're leaders because they convene under Chatham House rule, and they learn on a weekly basis, but they also curate contents for our events and write for our newsletter. I'm incredibly excited to announce today that we are launching the Social Impact Community in partnership with Susan McPherson. And if you know Susan, you know she's not backing down, and we are not backing down. So I want to thank the almost 400 members who are here from the network. And I also want to invite anybody who's not part of the network to join, to accelerate the network effect. And finally, we're innovating in the event space. We are going to co-locate these 3 events to be a force multiplier for impact. This will be the center of gravity for companies driving change, spreading ideas and solutions from the few to the many. And I hope you join us. So thank you so much for committing your livelihood to this cause, and have a great event. Thank you.